I remember playing with Seb, because Nathan and I played together before we met, or before we played with Seb. We heard that Seb had moved back from Argentina to Washington, D.C. We heard that he was a drummer, so we asked him to play. We met at our friend Ben's basement, and we played Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. And there was some magic there, and here we are 20 years later.
I remember the first sort of important Trans Am moment was when we were in Chapel Hill in 1993. We had a Casio keyboard, and we were sort of frustrated with our rehearsal. We started playing, I think, bass, drums, and keyboard, like a programmed Casio, like really cheap keyboard. And then we decided, hey, this was kind of more fun than the other stuff we had just been doing earlier that afternoon. That's what I remember was that was like the sort of like
the turning point,
the beginning of Trans Am. Touring with Tool is great.
Yeah.
Because they're you know, they're in this sort of underground heavy metal scene, which does not get any kind of like mainstream media attention in America, but is pretty massive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are interested in it, and we played these basketball and hockey arenas. There was like 20,000 people pretty much almost every night when they were playing, and I mean that's like Britney Spears or something. You know what I mean? But it's a metal band. And they were great guys. It was really fun touring with them, and it was completely different for us.
We basically booked time in the studio and jammed. Although I think that the next record we're going to try to write the songs before we go to the studio, do it the old-fashioned way, come prepared, and then just go in and execute.
Yeah, we're working on a new album, but when we say working on a new album, it doesn't mean we're actually doing anything for months at a time. But yeah, that's our plan. We used to put out an album a year for, say, like the first 5 albums, maybe, and we have a more relaxed approach to it now. There was sort of like once we got that popularity, there was sort of a 3 or 4 year period where people realized that we weren't really this sort of like jazzy, quiet, you know, prog musicians, and that we're actually kind of drunk, you know, loudish rock musicians, just as much as we are arty. So our audience kind of changed, which has actually been a lot of fun, because I think our audience is more fun than when they thought we were going to sort of kind of be quiet and act like we were in a museum or something while we were playing. So that's okay. The first part of that's easy. I did vote for Barack Obama. The second part of that, I mean, I don't think there's anyone who's not disappointed in Barack Obama, at least a little bit, you know. So it wasn't the easiest sort of political climate to come into. There's a lot of things I think he should have done differently.
I just think America's a hard country to please because it's so polarized.
It's also too big.
Yeah, it should be probably 3 countries.
They should cut it up into about 3 countries.
I mean, the people on the left are disappointed because he didn't do enough, and people on the right are disappointed because he did too much. You know, and like what Nate was saying about the regulating the corporate interests, we might agree with that, but half the country thinks that that's total communism, you know, like the whole Tea Party thing.
Okay, should we do it all together?
Yeah, let's do it together.
No. 1, 2, 3. Hello to Marvin from Trans Am. That was weird.